You don't have to wear the gear to be a firefighter. When you've got something on the stove, an unexpected fire could break out, so be prepared. Stand by your pan while you're cooking. Keep a fire extinguisher close by, and know how to use it. Remember pass, pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. You'll feel like a hero too.
And welcome back, where we have the Orange County Fire Authority with us today, Steve Concialdi, Captain Concialdi, and a familiar face if you've watched our segments that we did up at the training facility where the new recruits are trained. We have Shane Sherwood. Are you a captain as well?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Nice to have you on today. You don't
Thank
have
you.
to call me sir. I mean, we know each other. It's great to have you guys here. We're going to talk a little about first what we did yesterday, and eventually we're going to bring you a full segment on this. We had the privilege of going up with your air ops, and it was absolutely wonderful. Thank Captain Kenny Dawson for that. And also we had, let's see, our fire pilot was Jim Davidson, and then Dan, I forget his last name, but he is training to be a crew chief to replace
Dan
Kenny
Morehouse.
on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was
Morehouse.
wonderful. And I got to tell you, it was a fantastic experience. You really appreciate what these guys go through, and to watch this training going on, very impressive. And I was surprised to learn it's only been a 20-year program. I was also surprised it's only 12 hours a day that
Right,
they're
but
operating.
after the Laguna Beach fires in 1993, there were no helicopters in Orange County. There were multiple fires burning in the region, and we were requesting help from anybody. And unfortunately, we did not have a helicopter program. And so a number of homes were burned in Laguna Beach. And so this was that fire was the catalyst to start a helicopter program. Now we have 4 state-of-the-art helicopters, and they're available 24 hours a day. They're on staff during the day, but back last year in 2013 in the spring, they were certified to fly at night. They have night vision goggles, and on the fire, the Holy Fire on January 1st of this past year, they saved a number of cabins in that Upper Chabuco Canyon, the Holy Jim Canyon, because they were able to drop at night.
Yeah, and very interesting, we were talking with them yesterday that they were down at the San Diego fires. And,
Right.
It was incredible what we were being told, how they get down there and it's going, we're up in the air, there's 8 fires going on, and of course we're coordinating with the military that was out there, with San Diego. I don't know if they have their own helicopters or whoever was down there.
And Cal Fire, there were multiple helicopters, but they made a significant difference in that fire and saved multiple homes down there.
Yeah.
Because we sent 2 helicopters.
Yeah, that was wonderful. And it's good to have them there, and it's a fantastic program. Hopefully it gets staffed 24/7, and we'll see about that in the future. So very good. Well, Shane, you, as we've talked about, you have been a part of the Fire Academy.
Correct.
You're now back in your own station, but tell us a little bit about that. And you got some new recruits that passed that are on their way.
Correct. So we started back in February. It's a 16-week academy that we put them through a variety of different topics: rescue systems 1, hose lays, ladders, emergency medical services. So after the 16 weeks, we started with 35. We ended with 33 recruits, and several of them.
That's great.
Several of them are working here at Station 22, which serve Laguna Woods, as well as some of the surrounding stations in Laguna Niguel and in Irvine.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's great to see them out there, and we wish them the best of luck in their next year of. They have a series of tests that they have to go through, a 6-month and a 1-year, to be considered full-fledged firefighters here for OCFA. So we wish them the best of luck through probation.
Well, it's a great facility up there, and you were telling me, and you were saying this to me as well, that you've almost outgrown that, because not only do you have the recruits, you have people coming up there learning engineering, right? The engineers that
Engineer
do the pumpers
academies,
and things
battalion
like
chief
that.
academies, captain academies. There's something going on every day. Plus, our firefighters train on a daily basis there.
Yeah. So you've outgrown it. You could use something a little bit bigger.
Well,
or another
it
place.
is it is a state-of-the-art facility.
It is.
It's a
it is.
wonderful. We're very pleased with what we have.
And if you need training, just at other facilities, you can do that, and as you totally do. And just like yesterday, they were up at Irvine Lake doing that area up there. So, it's an excellent program, and it's really great that you have that. Let's talk about something that very serious already. We're not even officially into summer. And there's already, unfortunately, been several drownings throughout Southern California, but in Orange County. So, Steve, why don't you go into this a little bit? Water Watcher program, some safety tips, and it can really be tragic.
Since January 1st of this year, we've already had 20 drownings. And out of those 20 drownings, 9 of those are fatal. So we have fatal drownings and non-fatal drownings. They're all devastating, and they're heart-wrenching to the family. So I've been the PIO for about a year now, so I have to deal with all of these. I have to follow up, get the story. We keep the county stats, and then I have to talk to the parents or the people that are there. And it affects everybody, not just the parents, but the friends and extended family, neighbors. And the common denominator on all these are either people that are over 50 that are in or around the water by themselves, or children 8 and younger that are left unattended. So with these stats so far, 6 of our 9 fatals have been people that are over 50. And just a week and a half ago, in a community pool in Irvine, there was a 74-year-old gentleman that was very well known, sitting by the pool. Then he went into the pool, and the neighbors walked by. One of them, she waved at him like she does often, and she went into her house. And a little while later, she came out and noticed his stuff was still there, but she couldn't see him. So she went right to the pool, and she saw him at the bottom of the pool. She screamed for other residents to come out. They pulled him out. They did CPR. Our firefighters, paramedics got there quickly. They were able to resuscitate him, get a pulse back, but unfortunately he died about a week later at the hospital. And we're not sure exactly what happened to him, but then we had another one down at the beach. We've had 2 the back-to-back Fridays down in Dana Point. And again, they're by themselves. And so we don't want anybody to swim alone or be around the water, because if something does happen, they get lightheaded or dizzy, they have a diabetic reaction where their blood sugar goes low, or they pass out, or they have some medical condition. There's nobody there to help them. And then children, we just had one in Ladera just earlier this week. And Shane knows the family. One of our firefighter paramedics that was on scene knows the family as well. And it is tough for everybody because it happened so quick. The parents were doing everything right. They had a safety fence around their pool. The swim instructor was coming. And unfortunately, the 2-year-old had water wings on. And somehow she slipped out of the water wings and she went down to the bottom of the pool. And children panic.
Right.
And they don't know what to do. And what we always say, they drowned without a sound. There's no screaming, there's no banging on anything. Nobody hears them. So she was with a 3-year-old, and the 3-year-old was able to say, Mommy, she's down at the bottom of the pool. So the mom jumped in, was able to pull her out. And so she then was transported to Mission Hospital. But these are so tragic for everybody. She's going to survive and she's going to do well. But it's tough for everybody because it happens so quickly.
And something like this, especially for me, I thought, this would never happen to me. And I'll tell you a quick story. We had just put in our pool in our backyard, and I have three daughters, and we decided, hey, we're going to go in the jacuzzi as a family. And so the 2 oldest daughters and myself, we went upstairs to get our bathing suits and get our towels, and my younger daughter had already come back downstairs, ready to go into the jacuzzi. And my wife was in the kitchen, and they were playing hide and seek, and she was about 2 years old at this time. And so they're playing hide and go seek. My wife thinks she's watching her. I came downstairs, and I said, "Where's Ava?" And she says, "Oh, she's right here." And I looked outside in the backyard, and she's already sitting in the jacuzzi. We had no idea that she had already walked out there. And we had, like I said, we had just gotten it. We hadn't put a fence or a barrier around our pool. So something that we advocate here at the OCFA is the ABCs. Which is active adult supervision. You put barriers around your pools, and then C being classes such as CPR. We do have these pamphlets and these brochures that we do hand out well, we do encourage to go out to the homeowners association and go over this, go over pool safety with them, because like you said, like Steve said, it can happen without a sound, without any notice. And in my situation, we thought we were doing everything right, and it just took 2 seconds for her to get out of our sight, and we could have very well been one of these statistics.
Yeah, I know that shortly when we moved in, we have an in-ground a spa, and there was no fence around it.
Right.
And about a year, well, it was actually after my daughter was born. She was about 6 months old or whatever she was at that summer. We put a fence up. My father-in-law and I put it up. It's 5 feet tall. It's the metal fence.
Right.
And just like we have a kind of a picture of
Right.
the same kind of thing, a fence that I have here.
And self-closing door
Yeah.
and a latch so they can't open it. And Shane shared a story that just happened, but it had a tragic outcome in Yorba Linda last Monday. So we did water safety stories all day long last Monday, because we had 2 drownings that previous weekend. And then Monday night, so I dealt with that all day long. So in the evening, all of a sudden I get dispatched to another drowning in Yorba Linda, and it was a very similar story. It was a warm night. The parents had dinner with their 2 kids. There was a 4-year-old girl and a 6-year-old girl, and after dinner they said, "Do you want to go in the pool?" So they said, "Go get your bathing suits on." Both girls ran up to their bedrooms, put their bathing suits on. Parents were finishing up the dishes. "Come on down, come on down." And the 6-year-old came down, and they go, "Where's your sister?" And they immediately went to the pool, just like Shane did. And the 6-year-old got to the pool first, and the 4-year-old was already face down, a foot under the water. Because children are attracted to the water.
Yeah.
They associate water, the bathtub, backyard pools, spas, play. That's their playtime. And so whatever happened to her, so she was found. The dad did CPR, and like Shane said, they'll see her for classes and swimming lessons, because the dad was able to do CPR and brought her back. But again, she's in intensive care at the hospital, and sometimes they're okay. Other times they have life-lasting neurological problems, and it just takes a second. And
It does. And
so
we have,
sad.
by the way, we have a great the Disaster Preparedness Task Force here. They put on both adult and child, and believe it or not, pet CPR classes, but they do it throughout the year here. So it's available to you, and obviously the pools here are taken care of. But the people watching, if you have family or friends that have a pool that do not have these fences up, get them installed. Yes, they're costly, but nowhere near the cost of something tragic that may
and they've
happen.
come down in price.
Yeah.
They're designed so well, but it's the constant supervision, never
Yes.
leaving your child unattended near or around the water or
Right.
in the water, because it happens so quick. And
It
so
does.
Orange County Fire Authority has these water watcher
Yeah,
tags.
these are nice.
And we will
Yeah, they're
give
very
these
nice.
to anybody. You just
Yeah,
have to
we'll
call
pass
our
those out.
fire department or come by, and all the stations have it, our headquarters have these, and we'll give these to you. So basically, you're the water watcher. So if you're wearing this at a party or to get together at a community pool, your sole task is to keep an eye on the water. You're not texting, you're not on the phone, you're not talking to your girlfriend or the kids or so forth. I mean, just last night, and this is emotional for all of us, because we have to deal with all these. So one of our captains, Matt Levesque, they were doing a training exercise, and there's a gentleman that works for Blair's Towing came up to him, and he said, "I've been seeing on the news all these drownings, and on July 28th in 2012, right here in Lake Forest, my 2-year-old daughter drowned."
Oh,
and it was heart-wrenching. So Matt called me last night. I was able to call him, and he just told me the story, and we already put him in contact with a reporter that she's doing a story, but they're so sad. He cried. He still talks about his Allie, and they just had a new baby. She's 5 now, and she goes, "She looks just like Allie," and it's heart-wrenching. But and he is so quick. And the mom was out by the community pool with a whole bunch of other moms, and the 2.5-year-old was in the spa with some other kids, and they were playing. And what happens, just like 2 weekends ago in an Irvine pool, a little 3-year-old got caught underneath the boogie board, and they panic. They don't understand that it's okay, calm down, we'll just swim out to the side and get out.
Yeah.
They panic, they inhale a great deal of water, and then all of a sudden the situation gets worse, and they panic and they suck in so much that they stop breathing.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. Somehow she was in the spa with these other kids, something happened. And you know, it's so hard because everybody's blaming everybody. All the moms feel terrible. He was at work, he got the awful call. I mean, it's tough for everybody.
Yeah, it is.
And I know we focused a lot on kids, and that's what a lot of the stories, but this affects adults over the age of 50 as well. And we recommend that they have a partner when they go swimming. Don't go swim alone. Because through statistic, it shows definitely that they are at risk as well.
Yeah, and I know I've mentioned this once before to Steve, that behind our spa, we have a lot of plants growing, and I'll go out there and trim them and do that thing. And it's a very narrow area between that and actually the drop to the pool it's only a couple feet. But I've often thought, what if I'm there alone and I trip, I hit the coping on the pool, and now I'm in. It's only 2 feet deep, but that doesn't matter. If I'm passed out, nobody's home. So even for me, I think about that quite often. I want to get to, you sent along some videos to us, and there was a recent Metrolink train fire, right? And tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so just last week in Irvine, just right past Sand Canyon, it was just south of Sand Canyon, behind the La Quinta Inn and the old Tijuanas.
Yeah.
And there was a Metrolink heading south, and it had some sort of engine fire. And so there was 56 people on the train, but 3 of them were in wheelchairs. And so this is just a great show where Metrolink employees, Orange County firefighters, you'll see Orange County Sheriff's deputies and LA County Sheriff deputies. LA County Sheriff deputies are responsible for the train and the passengers on the train. We had to carry 3 of the people in their wheelchairs. We used a 14-foot straight ladder, and we were able to put him, because at the very end, the engine was on fire, and it just took a while to put out because there's so many electrical components.
Yeah.
So we used 5 large dry chem extinguishers, and then once that didn't work, we had to just lightly spray water until the fire was extinguished. But we had to shut the power to the train, which Metrolink does right away. Well, it gets very warm. It was a warm day, and the passengers were uncomfortable, so we had to bring them off. So originally Metrolink and Irvine police officers got on scene right away with our firefighters. All the passengers were moved to the front of the train because it was a rear pushing locomotive.
Okay.
So they were in the front car, and it just got extremely warm. So we eventually got all the passengers out, but we had to carry off these people that were in wheelchairs. But you could see there's an Orange County Sheriff's deputy, a bunch of there's a Orange County Sheriff's deputy, the LA County deputies were there, Metrolink employees, but it just was, everybody was working together so well.
Yeah, and that's what made that all work. And,
and we extinguished the fire. Again, it was a warm day, and we had to be very careful, but it just shows that how we all work well together. Irvine Police Department, Orange County Sheriff's Department, LA County Sheriff's Department, Metrolink, and the Orange County firefighters.
Yeah, that is great, and that's what's important, that you all work together when you need to, and I know you all do. We're just about running out of time. We only have a minute or left in the show, so thank you both for coming on today.
Thank you, Ken.
And as I said, we're going to bring you those segments that we did with the air operations. Once those are all edited and finished, and we may get a couple segments out of that. It was very, very nice, the whole team up there to take us up, and it was an experience I won't forget.
And we want to thank them for their 20 years of great service.
I know.
To the citizens, not only in Orange County, but the whole region.
Yeah, it's an absolutely essential service. They do a great job, you all do, and you're going to go back to training one of these days?
So we should have an academy starting here shortly.
And you'll be back up there?
I'll be back up
all
there.
right,
So
very
please
good.
come on out again.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Invite
That
you guys
was
out.
great. Thank you again.